Hey guys, just some tips on the classifying reactions lab. Let's look at question or reaction number 4. It's real important that you write down your observations, and that means everything. So first thing, calcium carbonate is a white solid. That might be important, you just don't know before the reaction starts. Hydrochloric acid is a colorless solution. All right, maybe you'll remember that when it comes time to write the reaction, maybe you won't. Maybe that will be helpful, maybe it won't. So as this reaction occurs, some gas is produced. You probably saw some bubbling going on. One other thing that you saw was that when you put the burning wood splint into the test tube, the burning wood splint went out. So that gives you some indication as to what type of gas is present. It's certainly not a flammable gas, and it's certainly not a gas that would support combustion. All right, so that kind of helps you narrow it down. You also want to look at the formula of calcium carbonate to see what the options might be for gases that are produced, and maybe you want to look at the formula of hydrochloric acid as well. You also should have seen some water vapor on the test tube. Right, and if you didn't notice that one, make sure you write that one down now. Also, there was a white solid. Now, that might be the same white solid. It might be a new white solid that was produced, but it's something that you should write down. So as you try to write the reaction, write the formulas for the reactants, and that's two ionic compounds. So it looks like it's going to be a double displacement reaction. But if we just write out a straight double displacement reaction where the cations are trading places, you get hydrogen carbonate or carbonic acid and calcium chloride. But you know that there were a couple of gases that were produced. You saw the water vapor being produced. And when you did the glowing wood splint, that indicated that carbon dioxide was being produced. So that's the only product that could produce those two things. The calcium chloride must be the other white solid that was left in there. So you've got to use your observations that you wrote down to help you figure out what some of these products are. Hope this was helpful. Hope you wrote down some good observations during the lab. If you didn't, you might want to check with your lab partner. Maybe they wrote something down that is going to be helpful in you predicting the products of some of these reactions. Many of them you can do without looking at your observations, but some of the ones, especially like this one, require that you do the observations. Otherwise, you're just going to write a double displacement reaction and ignore the fact that water and carbon dioxide were produced.